Warm good afternoon to everybody. We are very happy that you have joined in the CME program of IMA TNSB and IMA Women's Wing on the occasion of World Heart Day. We will start the program with a prayer, physician prayer and IMA prayer by Dr. Shri Priya.
IMA prayer. May everybody be happy. May everybody be healthy. May everybody be free from pain. May everybody be free from sorrow. May we be the healing cure beyond every greed and lure. Physician's prayer. Dear Lord, thou great physician, I kneel before thee, since every good and perfect gift must come from thee. I pray, give skill to my hands, clear vision to my mind, kindness and sympathy to my heart. Give me singleness of purpose, strength to lift at least a part of the burden of my suffering fellow men, and a true realization of the rare privilege that is mine. Take from my heart all guilt and worldliness, that with the simple faith of a child, I rely on thee. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shri Priya. Thank you. Now I request Dr. Chitra, a chairman, IMA Women's Wing, Tamil Nadu State Branch, to deliver a welcome address.
Good evening, everyone. I am Dr. Chitra Thangavel, chairman, IMA TNSB Women Doctors Wing. Today we are going to have a webinar as a part of our World Heart Day celebration. I welcome our respectable IMA President, Dr. C.N. Raja sir, our Secretary, Dr. Ravi Kumar sir. Among their busy schedule in the corona pandemic, they accepted our invitation. Thank you very much, sirs. We welcome our sponsors, Mr. Sangeet Barale, Founder Chairman, DigiShield, Dr. Rajan Sanjiti, Advisor DigiShield, Secretary IMA Pune, Mr. Deepan Mehta, DigiShield. I welcome Dr. Kavita. She will introduce our moderators. I welcome our moderators, Shanta ma'am, Maliha madam, and Yashoda madam. I welcome our speakers, Dr. Nandini, my junior friend, Dr. Amita Ganesh, and Dr. Sumati. We welcome our IMA members and our friends. This program contains 3 sessions. First one, diet and exercise for a healthy heart. Second one, digitalizing medical records and its importance. Third one, the wonderful journey of music therapy and heart. This year campaign for World Heart Day is asking us to use heart to beat cardiovascular disease. Today, we are celebrating Gandhi Jayanti also. So I remember the famous quote by Mahatma on women empowerment. If by strength it is meant moral power, then woman is immeasurably man's superior. If non-violence is the law of our being, the future is the woman. So to implement moral power, we must get physical power and a healthy heart. Cardiovascular disease is the #1 cause of death in the planet. So today's wonderful speakers will guide us to use heart to beat cardiovascular disease. Over to Dr. Narmata, our secretary.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'll just take 2 minutes of my time to share the Women's Wing Secretary report for this 3 months. We also had a very wonderful program of checking the endurance of all our IMA members, and we have got responses from all our IMA members. So this is from July to September. This is an overview of the activities done. IMA Namakkal has been the most active among us. They have donated PPE, mask, BP apparatus, and Doppler to Urban Health Center Namakkal, as well as 200 pairs of sterile gloves to the Namakkal COVID ward. They have been continuing their charity activities. Every month, they have donated an induction stove, breast pump, as well as face shields and masks to the COVID ward in Namakkal. Now, with regard to Vellore, we had donated about 96 bags of groceries, which was worth around 1,000 rupees to the destitute people who had lost their job due to COVID through the District Social Welfare Board. NIMA Women's Wing has been very active for the kids. Every week since the lockdown, they have either of the activities like photography contest, clay modeling, drawing contest, poetry competition, fancy dress competition, and also a stress on the environment for Go Green project. They have recently celebrated Teachers' Day, Independence Day, as well as Gandhi Jayanti celebration. Most of the kids of our doctors have very actively participated. They also help all the women doctors to be on their track. For the past 1 month, they have had an app and they are following the women doctors' health, and which has been reported by them, and they have declared the women doctor who is fit, and healthy habits competition has also been conducted by them. Coming to they also had a grandparents day celebration for stressing the importance of the family as a unit. And coming to Dr. Veena from Ambattur, ma'am, she has conducted 2 camps. Around 65 people have been benefited by the camp, and around 5 of the COVID patients were diagnosed in this camp. And she is still continuing her work. In October 1st and 2nd, they have conducted Swachh Bharat Abhiyan program. Just now she shared the photographs. With regard to Nutrition Week celebration, IMA Vellore, we had a nutrition awareness program for the students of BMD Jain School, which was well attended, as well as it crossed about 1,000 views in YouTube. National Nutrition Week was also conducted by IMA Namakkal. They had awareness program for children, and also the children were dressed in the fruits shape also as a fancy dress competition. The Mission Pink Health activity is being launched. Yashoda ma'am knows, and then we had an awareness talk for Auxilium College students, BPA first year hospital administration student. It was on menstrual hygiene combined with the corona outbreak too. Breastfeeding Week celebrations was very grandly celebrated by our members. IMA Namakkal Women's Wing took care of the celebrated with the oath taking, advices to perinatal mother, promoting the breastfeeding along with the NGO of Inner Wheels, and giving talks in local medias. These are the photographs of the same, and they also had a meeting at their headquarters. They distributed healthy sweets to the antenatal mothers along with their pamphlets, and donated water dispensers. IMA Atur had a very big celebration. They donated about 60 dresses to newborns, and they distributed awareness pamphlets both in private as well as public sector. IMA Kulithale branch, 25 antenatal and postnatal mothers participated in a meeting conducted by them, where awareness pamphlets was also distributed. Breastfeeding was also promoted in social media too, and contraception promotion was done by us. Eye donation fortnightly celebration was done by our members, and Yoga Day, especially with Dr. Shantanarayanan ma'am leading the yoga celebrations. IMA Chennai South celebrated, and right now we are celebrating our World Heart Day. We had promotional pamphlets, and now this is a very small video about the awareness of the members.
Your audio is not there, Dr. Narmada.
It's a 1-minute video of the various participants who were here.
Just on to mute. Shut yourself.
We thank all the members for participating enthusiastically in this challenge. Thank you so much. Now, thank you, sir. Now I request Dr. A.K. Ravikumar, sir, to give the secretary address, followed by the presidential address by Dr. C.N. Raja, sir.
Good afternoon, all. A very warm welcome to all for this very important event conducted by our Women Doctors Wing I'm really proud that the Women Doctors Wing of IMA Tamil Nadu State Branch is very active, and they are conducting many programs. And I must congratulate the Namakkal branch, Vellore branch, Attur, Kulichalai branch, and various other branches who are conducting the programs regularly. And I'm very proud that these branches are conducting the programs. It is not only that only on special occasions they do that, but they keep continuing the programs and keeping the children very active, because most of the children in the house are all bored with their webinar activities or school activities, and they are being kept active with various other programs. I am very happy that the branches are concentrating on that. Not only that, they have taken care of the activities of the college students, college children, public, and they have gone to the media also, so promoting that the IMA is active and the IMA is taking care. And I'm happy that they have taken care of the regular activities of various government programs also. So it all shows that our Women Doctors Wing is very active, and they keep the morale of Indian Medical Association very high. And as we all know, young, energetic Shanta Madam, she's very active. She takes part in all the activities. I could see her skipping. I could see her doing yoga. And actually, at that age, she does everything very fluently, and she keeps herself very active. And if we start doing that, we get knee pain, we get back pain, and all so many other things we are getting. So thanks, madam, for encouraging. And I think Women Doctors Wing can take some clippings, make videos of all these programs, and then you can update in our website. We can ask all our members to just go through the website and download. They can see, and we can put it in the YouTube also, because that will give a very good encouragement for all the youngsters. And I also, after seeing that, I think that motivated me to do some exercise now. So it's very nice. And I thank DigiShield. DigiShield has been in continuous close contact with me for nearly about a month, that they wanted to take part in our activities. And I'm happy that they have joined us during this program, that too on Gandhi Jayanti Day. And thanks to DigiShield team for taking part in our thing. And my humble request at this moment is, again, coronavirus is spreading, and more and more healthcare workers are getting affected, because more and more patients, they have started coming, and we also have started practicing. The only vaccine which is available as per WHO's recommendation is protect ourselves. So please safeguard yourself with mask, safeguard your staff with providing them mask, give enough sanitizer. Don't hesitate to spend more on sanitizers in the hospital or in your clinic. See that the patients are seen by appointment, and don't allow more patients to come inside the hospital. And if you are going to admit the patient in the hospital, see that you only one attendant is there with the patient, and see that preferably the same attendant is there with the patient, and take all precautions. See that our healthcare professionals should not get infected, or even if they are getting infected, identify them early and treat them early. The dictum now is, if we can identify and treat early, the recovery is nearly 100%. So identify early, treat early. And in this group, many of our doctors have got infected, gone through very stormy situations, and also they have come out of the situations. So wish you all good luck, and wish this program a great success. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Actually, the idea of having the exercise program for the past 1 week is to sensitize our we doctors for the cardiac wellness. That is why we had it. And thank you so much for the nice words. Now I request Dr. C.N. Rajasa to deliver his presidential address.
Good afternoon to everyone. The respected chairman of the Women's Wing, Dr. Chitra, State Secretary, Dr. Ravi Kumar, Women's Wing Secretary, Dr. Narmata, and the personalities going to be here today, Dr. Mallika, Dr. Nandini, and Mr. Sankeet Barale from Chairman DG Shield, and what we other Dr. Yasota, Dr. Shanta Narayanan, and Dr. Amrita Ganesh, Dr. Smati, Dr. Rajan Sangeet from Digi Shield, and one more, Mr. Deepan Mehta. Once again, good afternoon, and also to the members who are all here this afternoon on this Gandhi Jayanti Day, on the occasion of World Heart Day. The Women's Wing of Indian Medical Association Tamil Nadu State Branch is conducting this webinar, a combination of different topics, digitalization, healthy diet and exercise, music therapy. So it is really an attractive subject, not only the importance of the heart. As already Dr. Chitra mentioned, our father of the nation, Mahatma, always believed in the empowerment of the women. Also, the safety of the women and the education of the women, and all those things all the time he emphasized. And our Indian Medical Association Tamil Nadu branch is number 2 in the country. Maharashtra is number 1. The difference between the Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu is they have more women doctors as the member in their own state. The topic what you have chosen today, really all the time the heart and the ailments and the subjects related to the heart always gets the importance. I think more so during this COVID period. If you see in the post-COVID sequelae, more and more cardiac issues, the coagulation problems at the capillary level is happening, and that leads to a lot of strokes, an increased number of heart attacks, and other peripheral vascular issues. I hope I am audible to everyone. Hello?
Yes,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I think this is also we have to emphasize, as our secretary mentioned, the safety of the doctors are very important because we are very vulnerable group. And the damage caused to the lung, not only that is the target organ, but also other organs also being affected because of this capillary and the coagulability problems happening. One more thing I like to emphasize here, kindly inform or your branch level secretaries or even the members. We have been working very hard with the government of Tamil Nadu and the central government to get the insurance money or the solatium for our colleagues who died unfortunately during this COVID time. So we are not getting good response from the members and the branch level from the secretaries to get the updated details and documents in order to claim the amount. At the same time, we are also going to give 2 lakh rupees to the families affected by the death of their um, uh, important person in the family, the doctor. Many families, the doctor is the only breadwinner of that family. So in this situation also, we plan to give 2 lakhs rupees. We need your cooperation So kindly take this message across and send or encourage them to give all the details. We are getting, but not enough data. I think Dr. Ravi Kumar will agree with me. So whatever we say, the government says it should come from the family, because they need a lot of documents like Aadhaar, a death certificate, and the legal hire certificate, all those things, which only the family can give, not the association. So with this few words, I appreciate and congratulate our women's doctors wing, one of the very active wing in our Tamil Nadu state, doing a lot of good work to be appreciated under the chairmanship of Dr. Chitra and the secretary, Dr. Narmada. I hope this evening program will be very useful, entertaining, also educative, more so for our doctors who always give advice to others but never follow that. So I hope we will follow your instructions and suggestions and recommendations. Thank you for the excellent opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Shantanarayan ma'am is one example. She has won it for on all the three categories. She has won the prize.
I forgot to say this. This competition really, what you have, cardiac endurance. I think that is very attractive. I think the participants are not that many, I believe, but even though it does not matter, but the idea is good. And I forgot, I mean, I actually wanted to mention that, but I'm sorry, I forgot that. And I congratulate our Shanta madam. In fact, we should follow her footsteps. In fact, the marathon footsteps, so that we will be all fit and to fight any eventualities that come to our physique and mind.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Did not stick to that. They said we'll also do plank, and they did, and they won the prize for 4 minutes 47 seconds. So that was a maximum. So we actually didn't have it for them, but they said we are going to do plank. Thank you so much, sir. Thanks for joining with us. We are very indebted to you and Dr. Ravi Kumar, sir. Now I hand over the mic to Dr. Kavita, one of the most active members. As you would have seen, all the activities are centered around Namakkal mostly. Dr. Kavita, to take over the stage and introduce the moderators for the CME program.
Good evening, respectable seniors and friends. At the outset, I should thank our president and secretary, and Chitra madam and Narmada madam for giving me this opportunity. It's my pleasure to introduce our moderator, Dr. Mallika Kolandevel madam, our IMA TNSB Fine Arts chairman. She has been in private practice since 1981 at Thangam Hospital, Namakkal. She has been awarded as Best Female Doctor by Tamil Nadu IMA in 2018 and Women Empowerment Award in 2019. Best IMA Branch President and Best Club Activities in 2013 and 2014. She conducts Women Health Awareness Program in schools, colleges and villages in and around Namakkal since 2000. She was past President IMA Namakkal Branch and Innerville Club of Namakkal. To add, she is the first obstetrician to handle HIV positive antenatal mothers in early 1990 and has delivered more than 250 babies. Since I am very much associated with her in all the activities of her Namakkal IMA, I must surely mention about her enthusiasm in doing things and her encouraging words to the juniors in getting things done. It's really uncomparable. Over to you, Mallika Kolandevel madam.
Thank you, Kavita, for your kind words. I am honored to commence our first session by addressing our respective IMA administrative members, State President Dr. C.N. Raja sir, State Secretary A.K. Ravi Kumar sir, and our Women's Wing Chairman Dr. P. Chitra ma'am and Dr. Narmada, State Women's Wing Secretary, and Dr. Sripriya Treasurer, IMA Vellore, and Dr. S. Kavita, Women's Wing Secretary, IMA Namakkal. And I put my pranam to our respected speakers today, Dr. J. Nandini, Consultant Cardiologist, Mummy Hospital, and Dr. Amartha Ganesh, Professor in Cardiology, MJ Medical College, and Dr. Sumati Sundar, Director, Chennai School of Music Therapy. And my co-moderators, Dr. Shanta Narayanan and Dr. Yashoda. And today's session, World Heart Day, was initiated by the World Heart Foundation in the year 1999. Since then, every September 29th is observed as World Heart Day all around the globe. So what is the significance of this day? It is to inform people around the globe about cardiovascular disease, including heart disease and stroke. Already our president mentioned everything. Cardiovascular disease is the world's leading cause of death, claiming almost 18 million lives each year. The day throws light upon the actions that individuals can take to prevent themselves from CVDs and also get it under control. This day aims at educating people to lead a healthy lifestyle by avoiding consumption of tobacco products, unhealthy diet, and physical inactivity. If these precautions are taken, at least 80% of premature deaths from heart disease and stroke could be avoided. And this pandemic COVID-19 has changed our lives to an extreme level, and our healthcare sector is very much in the spotlight every day. All the healthcare workers are working for the health of people tirelessly during these difficult times. In fact, we forget or neglect about our own health while performing our duties. This year's World Heart Day theme being taking care of one's heart during the pandemic. Let's protect our patients' hearts as well as ours. Never to forget, cardiovascular disease and COVID-19 is the most deadliest killer pack of the pandemic era, since it currently claims the most number of lives in the world. A healthy heart is the perfect example of how one should live life. The heart continuously works throughout life to sustain all body functions. What unique property nature has given to heart which makes it possible? The property of relaxation after each contraction. Each systole is followed by a diastole, and this relaxation gives heart energy for next contraction. Relaxation is the most important part of our sustained actions. My fine arts aim also unite and relax only. The earliest sign of heart disease is diastolic dysfunction, when heart is unable to relax. So in our life, as Gita says, Shit Prajnayam, that is objective detachment. If we stop reacting and focus on reality and action, our changed perception will definitely make our heart healthy by avoiding inability to relax. Keep heart happy for happiness. To enlighten us with more in-depth knowledge about cardiovascular disease and COVID-19, our first guest speaker, Dr. Nandini J. is here. I warmly welcome her today's session. She completed her undergraduate studies at Chengalpattu Medical College. She did her post-graduation degree, MD General Medicine in Coimbatore Medical College. She later completed DNB Cardiology from Vijaya Hospital, Chennai. She is currently a consultant cardiologist practicing in Mummy Hospital, Vellore. She was State IMA Women's Wing Secretary during 2016 and 17. She is an active member of Cardiological Society of India and Association of Physicians of India. She has presented various papers in national conferences. We are honored to have you at this webinar, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Finally, I would like to conclude by saying a heartfelt thanks to each and every soul who has been helping to spread awareness of COVID-19 in every way possible to protect our society from the worst case scenarios. Thank you all. Dr. Nandini, you may take over from here. I thank Dr. Chitra and Dr. Narmada for giving me this wonderful opportunity to participate in this session. Thank you, one and all.
Good afternoon, everyone. At the outset, I would like to thank our President, Dr. C.N. Raja, Secretary, Dr. Ravi Kumar, and the pillars of our Women's Wing of Tamil Nadu, Dr. Chitra and Dr. Narmada, who has taken our Women's Wing to greater heights during their tenure. I congratulate them for their wonderful work and all the dignitaries of our women's wing who are doing a great work during this COVID times. World Heart Day is celebrated on 29th of every year to create awareness of cardiovascular disease. This was first coined during 2012 and is celebrated every year with a theme. The theme of this year is to use heart to beat cardiovascular disease. You need to beat the cardiovascular disease for the society, your loved ones, and yourself. So, first treat yourself by following all the healthy lifestyles, habits, and then try to inculcate them in your family. Motivate your family and friends to follow these healthy lifestyle patterns and take care of your loved ones, both your family as well as those working under you, your employees, to detect or cardiovascular disease and to prevent cardiovascular disease in them, and as a society to help your patients to prevent cardiovascular disease even before the onset. So we are going to deal with diet and exercise for a healthy heart even before the onset of a cardiovascular disease in a person, and what to follow once you have some disease. So the main lifestyle changes which we advise each and everyone on diagnosis of a cardiovascular disease is eating a healthy diet, exercise, to quit smoking, and to limit or stop alcohol intake. Along with this, you need to control your blood pressure, sugars, and cholesterol levels. The aim of this year's World Heart Day is the first 4 lifestyle changes which we need to follow. A healthy eating pattern, exercise regularly, quit smoking, and limit alcohol intake. So what both men and female are the same, is it? No, women are unique. Women have increasing levels of physical and emotional stress because of both house and work responsibility. You have a double work schedule. Most of the men come home, relax, while the women work both in the workplace as well as at home. So their stress levels as well as the work levels are high. Women need to concentrate both on their health and their eating habits. Apart from this, women tend to need fewer calories than men, but their requirements for certain vitamins and minerals are much higher. So your diet should have less calories, it should be more nutritious, and because of the low basal metabolic rate in females, an intense workout is necessary for an effective weight loss. In addition, hormonal changes associated with menstruation, childbearing, and menopause lead to higher risk of anemia, osteoporosis, requiring a higher intake of micro and macronutrients. You may feel you're too busy to eat at the right time and the right diet. Putting the needs of your family and patients, or trying to adhere to an extreme diet that leaves you short on vital nutrients and feeling cranky, hungry, and low on energy. So, a balanced, healthy diet is the keystone of a healthy lifestyle. What is a balanced, healthy diet? It should have 10% of fats, 25% of proteins, and 25% of fiber-rich carbohydrates. And the remaining 40% should consist of fruits and vegetables. So, apart from this, what are the other things you need to follow in a healthy diet? A low-fat and low-sodium diet. Prefer homemade foods. We all know that food cooked outside is high in oil as well as unhealthy oils and rich in salt. They contain extra salt. So homemade foods are better, and COVID has paved the way for most of us to have homemade foods and have 2 to 3 servings of fresh fruits and vegetables every day and 1 portion of calcium-rich dairy foods. Women need more dietary calcium than their male counterparts. Try to eat 1/3 of your total daily calories at breakfast. Try to eat a lighter meal for dinner. Keep healthy foods for snacking. Fruits and nuts are an ideal choice. Avoid overeating. Eat only when you are hungry. And more good fats is essential, such as omega-3 and omega-6 essential fatty acids, which is rich in fish. Vegetarians can obtain this omega fatty acids from nuts and flaxseed. Flaxseed is rich in lignans and omega-3 fatty acids. Ground flax seeds can be added to soups, salads, and even main dishes. We have advised people to limit alcohol. So, is it okay to take more wine since wine is good for heart? No. Even wine should. I hope I'm audible now. Intermittent fasting improves multiple indicators of cardiovascular health in animals and humans. It reduces the blood pressure and as well as reduces the resting heart rate, which are indicators of healthy heart due to exercise. This was noted even in fasting individuals. The levels of all our cholesterol improved. LDL and triglycerides reduced and HDL increased. There was also improvement in insulin resistance. There was an article in NEJM in 2019 indicating the benefits of fasting and intermittent time restricted eating. This appeared in NEJM shows that the resistance of cells and organs to stress, metabolic, oxidative, ischemic was improved. And the cell growth and plasticity also showed important cellular modifications leading to structural and functional tissue remodeling, as well as increased heart rate variability and other indicators of improvement in cardiovascular health. And a word about keto diets. Is it okay for all of us? No. Those who are less than 40 years and those who don't have cardiovascular disease can follow, but not those who have cardiovascular disease and those above 40 years. Above 40 years, you may have an asymptomatic plaques, which will be increased by further high cholesterol diets. So it's better avoidable in elder individuals and those who have cardiovascular disease. In keto diets, 5% of calories is achieved from carbohydrates, along with 75% from fats and 20% from protein. So patients with pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes, when they limit carbohydrate to 5%, they achieve a very good reduction in their glucose levels and control of their diabetic state. But it is not superior to other diets, and it is definitely not for cardiac patients, and there's no long-term safety results with keto diets. So the main talk of today is exercise. How do you start? Start slow and make it fun. If you have never exercised, start it slow and increase at a slow pace. Warm-up is a must. Begin with stretching exercises and always vary your routine. Therapeutic exercises aimed at achieving and maintaining physical fitness fall into the following three major categories: endurance training, resistance training, and flexibility training. Today we'll be seeing what all exercises people can do and what are the exercises those with cardiovascular disease and blood pressure can follow and which are to be avoided. Endurance exercise is also called as aerobic exercise. That was the thing which our women's wing had given for all our doctors to show their fitness levels. It includes activities that increase your breathing and heart rate, such as walking, jogging, swimming, biking, and jumping rope. Endurance exercises train your cardiovascular health and increase your cardiovascular health, reducing BP and heart rate over a period of time. So if you continue with these exercises, your basal heart rate comes down. Endurance activity improves overall fitness as well. Apart from the above aerobic activity, the top 5 muscular endurance exercises are
planks, push-ups, sit-ups, body weight squats, and walking lunges. So imagine if somebody has a knee joint pain or an ankle joint, not able to do walking or other exercises, they can start with plank, push-ups, and sit-ups. So these endurance exercises are as good as walking or swimming or dancing. So when you have some shoulder problem or shoulder arthritis or neck problem, then plank, push-ups, and sit-ups may be problematic. So those people can start with body squats and walking lunges. And what is resistant training or resistance exercise? It increases muscle strength by making your muscles work against a resistance, that is either weights or a force applied. So the different forms of resistance training include using free weights, weigh machines, resistance band, and your own body weight. Today we will deal more with how to do exercise in the absence of gym. In this COVID times, it is advisable not to go to gym for another 1 year. So let us concentrate on how to improve our fitness during this COVID times at home. A beginner needs to train 3 times per week to gain maximum benefit, and always start with less weights. It is nothing wrong to start less and go up further either with dumbbells or whatever weights than to start at a high weight and injure yourself. So it's ideal to start with 2 or 3 kg dumbbells. Flexibility exercises are for everyone. They increase the range of motion, decreases the risk of injuries, increase the blood supply and nutrients to joints, and reduces muscular tension. So even if you have any joint problems or arthritis, and those suffering from rheumatoid arthritis, SLE, or any arthritis due to any cause, flexibility exercises are a good choice. It is a crucial part of regular workout regimen because stretching after a workout routine relaxes the tightened muscles and definitely reduces your post-workout myalgia and joint pains. So we'll go through the easy stretching exercises, quadriceps and side stretch. Each stretch needs to be done for 20 to 30 seconds. You can increase it further if you want. Stretching exercises itself can be an exercise routine when you don't have time to do your full routine. The hamstring stretch is a very good exercise for your low back pain and for the hip joint pains. The calf stretch is a very good exercise after a good walking. Like if you walk for 1 hour, the calf stretch really relaxes your gastrocnemius and soleus and gives you very good relief. When you work out your upper arm, the shoulder stretch is very important, along with the extension for whichever muscle you were working out. The forward hand stretch is a very good exercise for your hip and low back pains, and also increases the blood flow to your brain. And it is a very good exercise to prevent dementia. Those who have heart problems, high blood pressure, and cervical problems, cervical spondylosis, need to avoid this forward hand stretch. The back stretch is a very good stretch for people with both upper and low back pains. And it is similar to the Bhujangasana or the Cobra pose. This gives benefit for as long as you can stretch, as well as the number of repetitions done. The butterfly stretch is a very good exercise to relax your hip and the flexors and extensors of your lower legs. Apart from the above stretches, the others which can be included and which can be done in numbers like 5 to 10 are the child pose, which relaxes all the muscles of your upper back, lower back, and leg. The second one is for the opposite arm and leg raise. The third is the back extension. The fourth is the bridge pose, which by itself acts as an isotonic exercise. The knee rolls, which are good for your lower back. A word about the isotonic and isometric exercise and who can follow these. Muscles maintain the same tension throughout exercise. Examples are squats, stair climbing, biceps curls, and push-ups. That is, the tone remains the same, the muscle lengthens and shortens. So it strengthens the muscle, it improves bone density as well as reduces the risk of osteoporosis. And they have a very good effect on our cardiovascular system. What is isometric exercise? The length of the muscle remains the same. There is no movement. There's only increase in tone of the muscle. It is a static posture. And examples are plank, side bridge, and all the yoga poses such as chair and tree poses. Those who have high blood pressure and cardiac problem should limit their isometric exercise to 5 to 10 seconds. Even this 5 to 10 seconds of isometric exercise really goes a long way in improving their fitness levels. And it can be extended up to 2 or 3 minutes, like however you are able to do it if you are healthy. Requires little time. Your benefit, even with 10 seconds, is very good. Has a rehabilitative effect on muscles and improves joint flexibility. So we have seen all the types of exercises. How should we plan our workout? It should be a variety. It can be either walking, dancing, or swimming, whichever you prefer. So one aerobic activity of any of the three, and lightweight training. If you're comfortable with biceps, you can start with, if you're comfortable with dumbbells, you can start with the biceps or triceps exercise or the other exercises which we are going to see. And the next is flexibility exercises and or yoga. Flexibility exercise should be a part of daily routine. So the simple dumbbell exercises which I was talking about, and I have put this picture to emphasize that even women need to do weight training. You will not develop big muscles like men. You will have better stamina and better strength when you do weight training with less weights. So this is like a side bend, dumbbells with a side bend. The second one is for core stabilization, and your side abdomens work for this. These exercises are not very strenuous, but they give the same cardiovascular benefit as you go for walking or swimming. The other two are they are called chopping exercises with the dumbbells. The other mild exercises which you can follow with dumbbells are back fly, upright row, scarecrow extensions. And all these are available in the net. If you want to start with a very low weight and go slow. Even 5 to 8 repetitions is enough, and start with just 1 or 2 sets per day. And always do on alternate days if you are a novice. And it is better to do it in front of the mirror. Yoga plays a very big part in the maintenance of health in our country. And most of us think that yoga is not as good as the aerobic other exercises. No, yoga has the same benefits of all our endurance and other muscle training activities. And it has additional benefits like in arthritis, foot problems in diabetics. In addition, they have a calming effect on the individual, thus bringing down their blood pressure and heart rate, and so very helpful in cardiac patients. The one precaution which cardiac patients need to follow is they should not hold their breath when doing yoga postures. They should breathe easily, like they should not hold their breath during the sustaining effect of the posture. Additional benefits are seen in asthma and COPD because of their increase in the vital capacity as well as in the maximum ventilatory volume. It can be done from 5 years of age up to 100 years. So I have put you the common, easiest postures, like which can be done even for old people. And you can just do 4 or 5 repetitions of these yoga postures. Even if you're not able to hold them, just go to the pose and then come back. You need not go to the complete pose on the first or second day. When you start yoga postures, your range of motion will definitely be low, and it definitely keeps increasing as the days go by. This is the forward bend. The second one is the backward bend. The third is the trikonasana or the windmill pose. And the fourth is the back stretch. This is the triangle pose or the downward dog position. The second is the child pose. The third is the bhujangasana, which we saw earlier. And the fourth one is a little difficult pose. I have put this for younger individuals. It is the bow pose or the yoga which causes a strengthening of the front as well as the back muscles of your chest, the lower back, the thigh muscles, as well as your calf muscles. And it is very good even for the shoulder muscles. And now we are going to see a word about the high intensity interval training. For the younger individuals who don't have much time but want to do exercise at least for 15 minutes, 10 or 15 minutes, you can do a high intensity interval training. Jumping jacks, arm circles, alternating with side leg raises, and your burpees or skipping, along with high knees and butt kicks. All these can be changed every 20 seconds or every 30 seconds, depending on your comfort level, with the rest of 20 to 30 seconds in between each. If you do this for 15 to 20 minutes, it is as good as doing a moderate intensity exercise for 30 minutes. So people, those who don't have time for exercise, don't worry. And if you're able to do this high intensity exercise for 15 minutes, it is as good as doing a regular routine for 30 minutes. So even in your aerobics, you need to vary your routine and change every day. You can't do the same thing daily. Your body acclimatizes and the benefits are less. So exchange between Zumba, power walk, dancing, along with your walking routine. You need a variety of activity to keep up the metabolism. So what are the points in walking? Always warm up by walking at a normal pace for the first 5 minutes. Don't go at your maximum pace at the onset of your walk. Then increase your pace as you walk and cool down by walking at your warm-up pace for another 5 minutes. Walking should be done at least 3 to 4 times a week, alternated with the other forms of exercise. Swing your arms while you walk. Keep your head up, back straight and abdomen flat. Posture is very important during walk. It prevents the post-workout myalgia, neck pain, all that. So keep your head straight and walk straight. Take long straights, but don't strain. 1 hour of walking is essential for maintenance of your weight. So 2 hours of walking. So many of us will think, I'm walking daily for 1 hour, I'm not losing weight. No, for losing weight, you need to do exercise for 2 hours. This is a women's heart study, which I wanted to emphasize. There was an extended observational cohort study conducted between 2011 to 15. Women around the age of 72 years wore accelerometers and their daily footsteps were counted through these accelerometers. 16,741 women around the age of 72 participated in this. And the compare group was women who took a least number of steps in this group, that is 2,700 per day. These were taken as the control group. Women who took 4,300 steps had a 41% decreased risk for all-cause mortality. Can you imagine? It was 41% decrease in all-cause mortality when the steps were doubled from 2,700 to 4,300. And the risk dropped by 46% with 5,900 steps, and by 58% for those with the maximum number of steps, that is 8,000. the risk for all-cause mortality fell by 15% for every 1,000 steps increase. So I just want to highlight and emphasize the importance of walking in women who, like most of us think that we are busy, we can't exercise, but definitely we should get our inspiration from Shanta ma'am, who has done all this at this age. At least either walking or some form of exercise should be started. And most of you have your phones, or you can have that accelerometer watch at home or at clinic and count your steps daily. Keep it aim to finish your target daily, either 600 or 800, whatever you aim for. And a final point, most of us have some discomfort after a workout or after walking. If you have some discomfort in your neck, chest, or in your shoulders or in the back, I want you to do this simple stretching exercise. That is for the pectoral muscles. This girl is having a towel in her hand and stretching from below towards above. And the other one, she's standing in her door frame and trying to go inside. So you expand your pectoral muscles to see if it is due to muscle pain. If the pain doesn't subside, I want you all to go for an evaluation. Most of our doctors miss thinking that I went for a walk, nothing during that time, the pain now is not due to cardiac. Many people have a post-cardiac workout because they would have been having the disease for quite some time. At one day, it triggers and it increases. I don't want to point out names, but many of our doctors themselves have missed a cardiac event and have come late for presentation. And during this COVID times, many of our patients are really scared to come to the hospital for evaluation, and many of them have turned 1 or 2 days later for an infarct. So either your home people or a patient, advise them to seek medical advice, even if it is an atypical chest pain, before or after an workout, or even at other times to evaluate thoroughly. So to conclude, start a routine from today. Today is a good day, so let us start a routine if we haven't started, and vary your routine, and don't forget to do your stretching exercises post-workout. They go a long way in maintaining your muscle health as well as your fitness levels and preventing osteoporosis. Thank you.
Thank you, Nandini. Malika ma'am, you want to take up the question? One question was asked. Kindly unmute yourself.
Excellent awareness talk by Dr. Nandini. Really, I congratulate you. Definitely, we have to do some exercise or yoga, as you pointed out. We have to do, that is, we have to do. Then only we can prevent all cardiovascular diseases. And diet also you have mentioned very correctly. Any questions? Our doctors, everybody is doing, I think. Exercise, are they doing or not? Because we have conducted, Dr. Narmada has conducted a competition. I think only less number of people participated in it. What about your view about our doctors doing exercise?
During this COVID times, we are seeing two groups of people, ma'am. One is COVID fitness and another one is COVID obesity. Like half of the people, they have taken fitness, have lost weight and have really become fit. The other half, like carrying on with their daily routine and with the relaxed time sitting at home, have put on weight. It's seen both with the doctors as well as the public. Like both phases are there during this COVID times.
Madam, there was a question about paleo diet.
Yeah, ma'am.
Paleo diet, somebody asked.
Somebody asked.
Okay.
What about paleo diet to prevent cardiac vascular diseases?
Yeah, ma'am. I had put the slide. I don't know whether I was audible during that intermission. Paleo diets are for people less than 40 years without cardiovascular disease, especially for diabetes without pre-existing comorbidities. So if you go on a paleo diet, or keto and paleo are almost the same, like it is more of fat and less of carbohydrates. It is advisable only for young diabetics who want to achieve good weight loss as well as control in the diabetic status. It is not advisable for cardiac patients and not for age above 40 because we don't know their atherosclerotic status as well as the degree of their coronary artery disease. So just an asymptomatic patient doesn't rule out a presence or absence of cardiovascular disease. So keto diets, I will say it is safe for people below 40 without a family history of coronary artery disease and no comorbid conditions.
What about our household works? If you do it instead of doing all exercises, stretching, everything, can we do household works without any washing machines or grinder? Can we do that and we can build our heart healthy?
It is okay to do, ma'am, but since we are not used to doing all this, you should not harm yourself and cause some muscle pain. That's very important. You can try which all is possible by us. We have not been, if you try new things which you have not done all these days and suddenly you're doing everything together, you may have severe back pain and all that. Myalgia. So we need to assess all these days, no work at all, and suddenly so much of work also means many people came back to me, ma'am, like for consultation. They said during this COVID times, their house helps were not there and they were doing all the work and ended up having chest discomfort, back pain, almost mimicking cardiac symptoms.
Yeah, I agree, but slowly we can build.
Yeah, we can do. Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong, man. We can definitely do.
That keeps us healthy also, I feel. We are doing work, household work.
Yes, whatever you want to start at a slow pace, ma'am. That's always ideal. Children, 15 to 20 years, they can start at whatever pace they are comfortable. But after 40, it is always better to start at a slow pace. Increase your pace as you feel comfortable.
Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful awareness about exercise and diet. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
We thank you, Malika ma'am and Dr. Nandini. I request Dr. Kavita to introduce the next moderators. Thank you so much, Nandini.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Narmata. It is my great privilege to introduce the inspiring moderators, Dr. Yashoda Madam and Dr. Shantanarayan Madam. Dr. Yashoda Madam, our National Women Wing Chairperson, who does not need any special introduction. She is very well known for her enthusiastic work in her IMA. She has done many appreciable work and held many posts in IMA, local branch, state level and national level. She has won BC Roy Award in 2004. She has already taken her women wing to national level and made us proud. Her smile and enthusiasm is very contagious to all of us. Coming to Dr. Shantanarayan Madam, a fit woman of our IMA from IMA Chennai South, doing pediatric practice for 41 years. She has held post of Women Wing Chairman, Joint Secretary and continues to be EC member. She visits schools for adolescent talk and conduct medical camps regularly. She is a great sports person and has won All India Athletic Championship under her captaincy. To add a feather to her cap, she took marathon running in 2014 in her 40th year of age and regularly running 10-kilometer marathon and participating in various marathon events. She is a great motivation for all of our women doctors with her fitness and social activities. Welcome Yashoda Madam. Welcome Shantanarayan Madam. Over to you, Madam.
One small correction.
Thank you, ma'am. And before that, I just hand over the mic 2 minutes to Mr. Deepan Mehta. They have their session 2 here. Mr. Deepan Mehta. And I also take great pleasure in welcoming our President-elect, Sir Dr. Ramakrishnan, for this CME program. Thank you so much, sir, by honoring by your presence. Dr. Ramakrishnan.
Thank you, madam. I have come here only as an observer from Tamil Nadu Medical Council.
Yes, sir.
I will see that you are given more number of hours. I am there since beginning of the, CME. I was observing. Thank you very much. Nice show.
We sent you the panel link. Luckily, thank you, sir. Mr. Deepan.
Yes, madam.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, IMA Tamil Nadu, for giving us opportunity and organize the event. Mr. Sanket Barale, he is our chairman and founder of DigiShield. So he was actually going to have a presentation on digitalization of medical records. But he has apologized due to some urgent meeting. He is not able to attend the webinar. So on his behalf, I will take the presentation and help the doctors to digitalize their clinic and prescription. So I am Deepan Mehta, COO of DigiShield. We have created one application, which is an AI-based power solution, DigiShield, which helps doctors to digitalize their clinic. So in current COVID situation, many of the doctors are doing teleconsultation, video consultation through WhatsApp medium or like telephonic consultation. So we can help doctors to digitalize their prescription as well as do teleconsultation and video consultation through DigiShield. So the challenges which currently doctors are facing in digitalizing their prescription is like it required a huge cost to implement the digitalization. It requires laptop or computers, hardware for servers, backup and all. So it incurs a capital expenditure for the doctors. There are like various language barriers. Many of the applications are available in the English. So that is also one of the challenges which doctors are facing in rural areas. On any such villages area, doctors are unable to digitalize because the patients are unable to understand the prescription in English. So it requires a lot of complications and implementation process to start the using software for the doctors. Even their current behavior of the doctors who prescribing the prescription also changes due to the digitalization. And the implementation process takes a long time. You also require huge training for the doctors, paramedics to understand the software and how to maintain the records and how to update the medications. So these are the challenges which doctors are facing. Even there are no special policies or rigid policy. There are various rigid policy which even doctors are facing. There is no standardization. So each doctors or each paramedic uses different softwares. So patient's record is also not maintained on the standardized. Doctors are also concerned about their privacy of their records. So is there a solution for this crisis? Are we in position to restart India's healthcare system safely and effectively? No, how? DigiShield. Doctors and patients are concerned about interacting with each other for non-COVID related care. DigiShield helps doctors screen patients for various risk factors before they come into a clinic or hospital, thereby reducing the risk of COVID-19 contamination to themselves, their staff, and other patients. The platform offers a comprehensive solution to dramatically increase safety of the doctor-patient interaction in the world with COVID-19. So our DigiShield is a software which is HIPAA compliance. Our company's HIPAA compliance policy. Through DigiShield, doctor can do video consultation, as I told previously. Also teleconsultation. Doctor can operate the DigiShield where in all the location wherever the doctor is practicing. From clinic A to clinic B, doctor can get handy medical records of their patient. They just need to operate through the mobile. They just need to log in through their registered mobile number and one time OTP generation. After the login, they can have the complete record of their patients throughout the location. It's very convenient and easy to use. Doctor can get the analytical reports of their patient monthly, weekly, or quarterly. Doctor can also get to know about their financial receipts and all, like regarding the payments from the patients, which of the payments has been pending from the patient, which helps the doctor to take the accuracy of the patient, which increases the relation between doctor and the patient. Their entire medical record has been saved in Google secure server. So they can have like their backup for 24/7. Even like if doctor misplaced their mobile or their phone or tablet has been broken, so when they uses the new device, they just need to log in with their registered mobile number, and their entire patient's medical record is on the one go. DigiShield is very easy to use access. Many times it happens that suppose a patient comes for the first time to the doctor, and doctor are used to write their prescription. Their behavior is on writing on the prescription paper manually and hand over to the patient. So in such instances, what happens when patient comes for the second visit or for the follow-up visit, patient forgets to bring their medication, in which it find doctor difficulties in making their further medication. So through DigiShield, if doctor is using through prescribing medicines to the DigiShield, so even like for the follow-up visit or next visit, patient forgets their prescription, doctor can view their entire history of the patient, the number of time the patient visited in their clinic, what was the previous medication prescribed. So everything the doctors can view of the patient's medical records and all. So it's very easy to use. We have various features: online appointment booking, appointment scheduling of the patient, Doctor can upload the patient's lab reports as well as their radiology reports, their medical history, their previous reports. Everything can be uploaded by the doctor, and it will be maintained for throughout the lifetime. And also the patient will receive the soft copy of the prescription. So it's completely paperless. Doctors just need to write the prescription on the paper the way they are using. They just need to click the photo and upload the prescription. Patient will receive the SMS link of the prescription, and patient has to just click on the link and can view their prescription. I will just show you how DigiShield works. It's very easy to use. Doctors just require one-time registration of the patient. Once patient has been registered, they can do teleconsultation, video consultation. They can upload their medical records. I will just share you the small video as how it works.
Download the DigiShield app from the Play Store or App Store now. New users will go through a quick one-time registration process. After filling in some basic information, registration is complete and you can start using DigiShield. Logging into DigiShield is easy, safe and secure. Enter your registered mobile number. An OTP is sent to your mobile. Enter the OTP and you are logged in. No passwords to forget. Making a patient's appointment is easy. Just click on the calendar sign, enter the patient's name and mobile number. Select date and time of the appointment, and that's it. A confirmation message will be sent to the patient, and so will a reminder. A day before the appointment, your patient will be automatically contacted by the DigiShield agent. The Shield agent will collect the patient's symptoms, history of present illness, and more. The agent will also collect any consents or indemnity that you want to collect from them. Based on the DigiShield interaction, you will be alerted to the patient corona carrier risk. It's easy to do a phone or a video consultation with the patient. DigiShield recommends that patients that have been flagged with a high or moderate corona carrier risk should be consulted via consultation first. Click on the phone icon or the video icon to do a safe and secure teleconsultation with the patient. In order to issue an e-prescription to a patient, tap on the pencil icon, tap on the camera icon to take a photo of the prescription, and you're all set. The prescription is sent securely to the patient immediately. DigiShield is easy to use and you will be online within 5 minutes of downloading the app. Download DigiShield on the Android Play Store or Apple App Store today. Protect yourself, your patients, your community. Download DigiShield for free today.
Thank you, IMA. The application is available free for the doctors. You can download it from Google Play Store or iOS App Store. Hand over to Dr. Narmada.
Thank you, Dr. Mr. Deepan, for the now note on the teleconsulting. Now I hand over to the moderators, Dr. Yashoda ma'am and Dr. Shantanarayan ma'am.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. We can hear you, ma'am.
Good afternoon to everybody. I first of all thank Dr. Chitra and Dr. Narmada, my good friends, for giving me this opportunity to come for this occasion. Thanks to our state office, Dr. Raja sir, Dr. Ravi Kumar sir, Dr. Ramakrishnan sir. During the regime, they are doing very good. They are giving very good guidance to the women's wing, and so that we are able to conduct programs and spread it. And it's very wonderful to work under your period, sir. And I also thank Dr. Nandini, who gave a very good informative speech and exercise and all the diet, everything. And thanks to Mr. Deepan Mehta, who had given a very good explanation about digital management, which is very much needed at this time. And this session, for which they have asked me, like wonderful journey of music therapy, we have two speakers, Dr. B. Amrita Ganesh and Professor Sumati Sudhar. I would like to introduce both of them, but before that I would like to say, the heart that loves is always healthy, the heart that serves is always happy, the heart that cares is always strong. Sometimes we need not need a brilliant mind that speaks, but a patient heart that listens is needed. Now I would like to introduce Dr. B. Amrita Ganesh. He is an MD General Medicine, DNB Cardiology, designation Consultant Interventional Cardiologist, Professor and Head HOD Cardiology, Mahatma Gandhi Medical College, Puducherry. Educational background, he has done his MBBS at PSG Institute of Medical Science and Research, Coimbatore. MD General Medicine at Tanjavur Medical College, Diplomat National Board, Cardiology Institute for Cardiac Treatment, Research, Southern Railway Hospital, Chennai. His working experience is he's been Senior House Officer in Cardiology at Institute for Cardiac Treatment and Research, Southern Railway Hospital, Registrar in Cardiology and Institute for Cardiac Treatment and Research, Assistant Professor with experience in Clinical and Interventional Cardiology in Jikmat, Puducherry, Assistant Professor in Mahatma Gandhi Medical College and Research Institute, and also an Assistant Professor in Puducherry from 2011 to 14. And he's also Professor of and HOD Cardiology till this date. And he's been a life member of Cardiology Society of India and life member of IMA Kadalur. His experience is very unique. His patient approach, communication and management, extensively involved in teaching DM cardiology to students and students in MD, good knowledge of cardiac catheterization, coronary peripheral angioplasty, structural cardiac pacing, congenital heart intervention, has performed 2000 interventional procedures. Congratulations, sir, which includes coronary peripheral vascular intervention, valvoplasties, device closure in congenital heart, pacemaker implantation, has participated in various national and state conferences, and he has attended vascular intervention at St. Francis's Hospital, Munster, Germany, attended various national level conferences and workshop updates and has done 27 publications in national and international journals. I think this is really great, sir. Best of luck for your future also, and we would like to hear from you today. And before you start, I thought I will just tell the introduction about the second speaker also. A brief profile of Professor Sumati Sundar. She is a pioneer in the field of music therapy in India. She is a medical music therapist and a senior educator in this field, researching actively since 2002, and has developed cultural sensitivity approaches in music therapy, education, clinical practice, and research in Indian context. She is also a founder director of Chennai School of Music Therapy based in Chennai, India. And she has been a formerly professor and director in the music therapy education in Sri Balaji Vidyapath, Puducherry. And she also holds PhD degree from the University of Madras and 2 master degrees to her credit in Indian music and applied psychology. And she was the recipient of the International Music Therapy Advocacy Award from the World Federation of Music Therapy in 2014 in Austria. She is a founder member of International Association for Music and Medicine, formed in the year 2009, and currently serves its board of directors. She regularly presents on music therapy both nationally and internationally, and serves as editorial board of the international journals Music Therapy Today, Music and Medicine, Journal of Basic. She has published widely in form of journal articles, book chapters, podcasts, and interviews in both national and international journals of repute. I deeply thank Dr. Narmada and Dr. Chitra for having given me this opportunity to moderate this occasion. And my co-moderator is also there, Dr. Shanta Narayanan. She also wanted to say something about the therapy. And following that, I think we can start a session. Thank you once again. Dr. Shanta?
Yes. Good evening, everybody. Thanks to Dr. Chitra and thanks to our state president, our secretary, and Dr. Ramakrishnan sir for giving us this opportunity and the wonderful occasion. And we did listen to Dr. Nandini, who explained us about all the exercises, what we have to do or all that. It was really very nice, madam. Thank you very much. Today, just want to, since madam has given the biodata of profile of Sumati Sundar, I just want to say only a few words on music and heart. Music is life. That's why our hearts have beats. Sometimes music is the only medicine that heart and the soul needs. Music has a small yet positive impact on health. Heart's health, according to a review of recent studies analyzing the relationship between music and changes in the body. Music is associated with a number of markers of heart health. It lowers anxiety and improves our moods. So to know more about what effects it has on heart's health, let's listen to Professor Sumati Sundar, founder director of Chennai School of Music Therapy, Chennai. Over to you, sir and madam. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Very much.
Namaskaram and good evening, Dr. Yashoda and Dr. Shanta, for the nice introduction. And then this is a unique talk in the sense that they're talking cardiology without any cardiology. Both talks doesn't have anything in cardiology, anything related to cardiology, but related to cardiology. And I extremely thank the IMA Women's Wing, especially Chitra Madam and Dr. Narmada, inviting me for this talk, which is unique for me. I have gone for our cardiology talk. It's very, very unique for me also. So let me share my slide screen. Can you see the slides? I just thought I cannot talk anything in music therapy per se. Because of my long association with Dr. Sumati Sundar at my Mahatma Gandhi Medical College, I started learning more music therapy. Though I am interested in music, I just want to associate this music for healing of patients who have heart ailments. So I just talk in 5 to 7 minutes just to introduce how I introduced music for my patients for a wonderful journey in my department. So there are, apart from, see, everybody, when you talk about cardiology, we all talk about interventions, we all talk about angiogram, angioplasty, all these things are separate. But Apart from all these things, there are 2-3 aspects in cardiology. One is prevention, another is rehabilitation, and is palliation. I feel preventive cardiology has a major role. Before going to preventive cardiology, I just wanted to tell you how music I associate with the interventions. Many of our patients who are planned for angioplasty, of course, it is uncomplicated, straightforward angioplasty or angiogram. They'll be very apprehensive. So what I do is we just talk to the patient, and then if they are interested in music, we just train them with the music one day prior. On the day of intervention, either angiogram, angioplasty, we give the same music throughout the procedure. And I have seen myself the amount of cooperation and the amount of anginal relief they had during intervention is extremely helpful. Dr. Smarishinda will deal more about it. What about music therapy in preventive cardiac clinic? I just wanted to quote two Tirukural, which was said more than before 1st century. எதிரதா காக்கும் அறிவினார்க்கு இல்லை அதிர வருவதோர் நோய். அது ஒண்ணு. வருமுன்னர் காவாதான் வாழ்க்கை எரிமுன்னர் வைத்தூறு போல கெடும். So these two Kurals explains nicely about how we should prevent any ailment before it comes. So music therapy has a extremely important role in preventive cardiac clinic. Suppose a patient comes to the muscle checkup having some risk factors like diabetes, but he is asymptomatic. And what we do there, we assess the cardiac risk and plan the treatment accordingly. But for improving their life quality of life, see every youngster when they come with the MI, when you ask them, say your job is ரொம்ப stressful sir, அப்படிதான் சொல்லுவாங்க. I just tell them, you sit with me for one hour in my cardiac OP and then say who is most stressful. So everyone feels that they are stressful. Stress is required for us, definitely. Without stress we cannot live, but we make it as distress. So instead of that, we have to make it as a eustress, for which we have to improve the quality of life, for which we need for a healthy lifestyle in one is a very, very important aspect, for which a music therapy plays a very good role, especially for those who are interested in music. It has a very good role. I used to tell many of the older patients who come from Serengpalikan nearby my hospital, they all say that I have stress sir, I have depression, all these things. When they are interested in music, I just tell them a joke. You all listen to Kapi. See, there is a beautiful ragam called Kapi in Carnatic. நான் சொல்லுவேன் அவங்கள்ட்ட, காப்பி குடிச்சா தூக்கம் போயிடும், காப்பி கேட்டா தூக்கம் வரும். It is scientifically proved when you listen to Kapi ragam, it reduces insomnia, and it has been proved by a paper in 2012. So I tell them to record 4-5 songs in the ragam Kapi. I am sure that by the end of 5th song they would have slept. So it all depends on how you motivate them. Then music in rehabilitation cardiac clinic. What happens once the patient undergoes angioplasty or a bypass surgery, they just keep their hands over the heart and say, so I'm not able to do this, doctor, that doctor. But we have to give them the strength that unless they improve the quality of life, none of our medicines are going to work. So we assess them to improve their quality of life. Music therapy has a very important role. I always tell them, you listen to music. So what is the difference between hearing and listening? Sometimes what happens when you tell the patient you do yoga therapy, you do meditation, you do this, that, they become more stressful. Suppose they go and sit and close their eyes for meditation, they are not able to get meditation. They becomes more stressful. Then this meditation is no more a relaxation. So I tell them, you listen to music instead of hearing. The one word which differentiates hearing from listening is aha. When they say aha, which means they are listening. So definitely it has a major role, and we have observed in our day-to-day practice in Mahatma Gandhi how it changes their quality of life. Then lastly, music in palliative cardiology. See, patients with end-stage heart failure, patients with end-stage disease with some cardiac ailments, even if they go anywhere, no, they are not able to do any sustained therapy. Suppose if they are affordable, they can pay for heart transplantation or device therapy or CRT. But when they are not affordable, we have to give them a palliative care, adjusting the dose of diuretics, adding suitable drugs, telling them about the nutrition, and day-to-day aspects, how much fluid they should take, all these things, for which we need to train them for 1 week to 10 days, especially for end stage. I just wanted to share one moment. Some 5-6 years back, one of the gynecologists, her son is our student. She was admitted in Mahatma Gandhi Medical College with terminal cancer, and she had some cardiac ailment also. So what I used to do daily after my OPD, I used to go there, sit with her, because she was so much interested in music. I just hold her hand and then sing a song. I can see obvious tears from her eyes. She used to say, Amrita Ganesh, the analgesic effect of music is more than morphine. I have observed in so many patients like this. So this music as an important role in palliation is very, very significant. So what is the role of a physician or a cardiologist? So we have to imbibe, we have to believe that music therapy or other non-pharmacological therapy has a role in prevention, rehabilitation, and hence individualizing the treatment protocol according to the needs is most important. See, after doing so much of difficult intervention, difficult angioplasties, putting three or four stents, when we are not able to improve the quality of life, then it becomes a waste. So I feel as a physician to use non-pharmacological therapy like music therapy in improving the quality of life of the patient, for which music therapy is very helpful. Now I ask Dr. Sumati Sundar to take over and explain further about music therapy. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity.
Thank you so much. Now we request Professor Sumati Sundar.
Yes. So thank you so much, and it's a great pleasure for me to be here. Let me just have 1 second in making this PowerPoint on slide screen. Thank you so much, IMA Tamil Nadu, and also the women's wing of IMA for giving me this opportunity, and thanks to Dr. Amrita Ganesh for referring me to the coordinators, and thank you so much moderators, Dr. Yasoda and Dr. Shanta, for the very very fabulous and probably a very generous introduction about me. And I'm Dr. Sumati Sundar, and I'm the director of Chennai School of Music Therapy, and I had the privilege to be the professor and director of the Center for Music Therapy Education Research of attached to Mahatma Gandhi Medical College and Research Institute, which is a part of Shri Balaji Vidyapeeth. And I had the opportunity also to introduce and establish music therapy as a part of medical care with a salutogenic focus in the hospital. And so that is about and I had lots of opportunities to work with Dr. Amrita Ganesh from the cardiology department. So some will be, my experiences with working with him. And so today the topic would be music and music therapy for women's health. How music can help the heart rhythms. And the objectives of the presentation would be to introduce music for cardiac health, how to support, how it supports pathogenesis principles in hospitals, and how music therapy and music can have a salutogenic focus, and what is salutogenesis and music therapy with a salutogenic focus, and what can music therapy do for cardiac health and the clinical outcomes that has been established through research and also through practice, and how do we use music for health and wellness as a preventive care strategy or a measure. So the definition of World Health Organization indicates a holistic approach to treatment, because World Health Organization says a perfect condition of the status of the physical, psychological, social, and spiritual well-being to be a state of health. So this indicates that a holistic approach of treatment to the patients is important, and it's also important for the hospitals to consider health promoting mechanisms, taking into consideration the physical, biopsycho, sociocultural, and ecological, foundations. And we are taking this as a premise for introducing music in this hospital environment, and how music and music therapy can be an optimum healing environment, and how we can, through music and music therapy, it is possible to set up an optimum healing environment, and we can complement the pathogenic principles of diagnosing or treatment. Because because when patients visit the hospital, one of the primary focus for the clinicians is to focus on factors influence the cause and diagnose, treat, and cure. But salutogenesis will be focusing on factors which influence the health and wellness and holistic care. It's not that, it is not just only focusing on just the treatment, but focusing on the entire person as a whole. The person as a whole, considering the mind-body connections, considering his physical well-being, considering his psychological well-being, which looks at how he feels, what are his emotions are, how he thinks, and about how he behaves, and also the social well-being and the spiritual well-being. And if you look at music therapy, it's similar. One of the simple definitions of music therapy is music therapy enhances the physical well-being, psychological well-being, and social well-being because of the properties of music. We all know that we react to music when it's so pleasurable, when we are engaging ourselves in music. It brings tears to our eyes, or it can bring goosebumps to our skin, or we can absolutely we can get relaxed, or it brings down anxiety, or it reduces our anxiety. It can reduce our depressive feelings. It can improve our mood. It can also make us be attentive and focus our concentration on a particular task, getting distracted from something distressing. So there are many basic therapeutic properties of music that we would have in our day-to-day life, would have felt, and there is no life. I can say that there cannot be anyone who does not use music in everyday life in some form or the other, whether we go in the car, or whether we are working in the kitchen, or when we are listening to programs in the TV, or name any activity. Most of it, it's filled with music for us. And also, it's not just this, because music is an art, and if you have to speak in the language of the clinicians, there are lots of evidences. Because one thing that is important is to understand about how objectively we can also think about the effect of music therapy, the beneficial effects of music therapy scientifically. And so if you look at the Cochrane review, there are evidences, there are lower to moderate levels of evidences for patients working with mechanical ventilation, with autistic spectrum, and with dementia, with schizophrenia, insomnia. We all know that music is a way by which it helps in the onset of sleep. And if we have sleep disturbances, we have known for ages, it's a history, and our culture has introduced to music for getting rid of our sleep disorders and cancer, how to improve the quality of life, or to have reduced perception of pain, and acquired brain disorders. There's been a lot of research on how music can help people who have acquired brain disorders, and the coronary heart diseases. That's our interest, and our focus, how we are going to look at how we are going to integrate music and music therapy into a restorative healthcare strategy, where with dealing with patients who are coming with the cardiovascular diseases, or it could be a preventive healthcare strategy when people visit, and it is not supporting pathogenesis, but it is looking at how we can help them to cope with the situation, cope with the stress, and improve their resilience and adapt. And also about anxiety, because one of the very important determinant, or higher levels of evidence, is to reduce anxiety, the situational anxiety that patients are exposed to during catheterization procedures, during pre-procedural anxiety relating to the different surgeries, heart surgeries. So there is very high levels of when we are going to take it. That's what we have been doing a lot in Mahatma Gandhi Medical College, offering music and music therapy as a pre-procedural support, and also during procedures and after the procedure, how music can reduce the levels of anxiety of patients who are anxious because of so many reasons. It may be because the outcome, they are anxious about the outcome of the treatment, the outcome of the intervention, or it could be the cause, or it could be about how they are going to lead their normal lives after the procedure. If it's going to be an interventional procedure, even if it's going to be a diagnostic procedure, some may be very painful, and the process may be anxiety provoking. So there are so many positive effects of music therapy which has been studied, and also there is moderate levels of evidence which is been indicated through the Cochrane reviews. And we are looking at what is what is possible, and how it can be, the clinicians can integrate music and music therapy practice for cardiovascular health. One is the preventive aspect, wherein we are trying to heal the patients. We are trying to see that where it's not about cure, because they don't have any symptoms, or they don't have any disease, but when they come for a master health checkup, creating an awareness and sensitization programs about the effects of music, and about how music therapy can help, and making them to improve their resilience, to adapt with situations of stress, and bringing down stress through music is one way of. It's a salutogenic practice for cardiovascular health, which is being practiced in Mahatma Gandhi Medical College. And the restorative one is expediting and facilitating recovery. So when people have issues of anxiety and depressive feelings, and also they have other comorbid situations which are psychological and social, it may hinder with clinical outcomes, the biological outcomes, and how it is possible that we can work with a restorative strategy in mind, and palliative, maximize whatever is possible when cure is not possible, improving the quality of life, and making them get a better quality of life, not only physically but also psychologically, enhancing their self-expression, making them cope with the situation, and understanding about the situation and how they will be adapting. So these are some of the practices that we could look at. And if you're going to see the clinical outcomes that has been indicated through research, it impacts the heart rate and heart rate variability positively. There have been researchers which have indicated, cross-cultural researchers which have indicated, that it impacts the heart rate and heart rate variability, apart from the systolic blood pressure and the diastolic blood pressure positively. And it reduces anxiety of patients in the pre-operative setting better than the anti-anxiolytic drugs. So this has been very clearly indicated through research, that music works better than the anti-anxiolytic drugs. And relaxing pre-operative music therapy intervention. So there are different kinds of music therapy interventions. And if you're going to look at relaxing music therapy interventions, it's about the quality of music. The music has to be relaxing, the music has to have slow tempo, the music has to have a soft timbre, and probably it's more of classical music that we are trying to use. Otherwise, in music therapy we use different kinds of music, because people react differently to different kinds of music. And so what music, or the quality of the musical experience, is what is important to be considered in the intervention. And if you look at relaxing pre-operative music therapy intervention, it reduces the prescription of anti-anxiolytic drugs. And there are a lot of randomized control trials which are being done to understand that the relaxing music interventions reduces systolic blood pressure, reduces diastolic blood pressure, reduces anxiety, reduces depressive feelings, improves mood, thereby also reducing their anxiety. So there are stabilization of physiological variables, and also reduction of anxiety. And as Dr. We have it's not only the data, the scientific data which is established through research, but it is also that through practical applications we have found out that when people are in local anesthesia and regional anesthesia, when they are able to when they are in a sterile environment, and when they are looking at whatever is happening around them, and there are many anxiety provoking situations, even the environment can be very anxiety provoking to them. With music, it is possible that they may be able to cooperate well with a interventional cardiologist, specifically speaking with about the cardiovascular diseases, and also the catheterization procedures. And stress reduction, resting in bed after open heart surgery, we have found out that also after the open heart surgery, maybe after for about 2-3 days, it is not possible for them to be very receptive to music therapy interventions. But after 2 days, it's possible that they can have a reduced perception of pain, and they also have reduction of anxiety. Their cortisol levels get reduced even resting in bed after open heart surgery. And it reduces the adverse effects, because considering 21st century has definitely made a different paradigm in understanding that the medical care has to take into consideration the mental health also, the connection between the mind and how the functions of the mind, like positive feelings and positive emotions and positive thoughts, can also impact the mind, and how through the brain information transfer systems like autonomic nervous system, the endocrine system, and the immune system are able to make changes, positive changes, behavioral changes. So in that way, when it has an effect on the mind or when the brain, basically if you look at music, it's such a rich experience. We can say that it is a multi-sensory stimulation engaging the motor framework, and it connects the different part of the brain. It's not just one part of the brain that is going to be stimulated when somebody is listening to music, or when they are going to be singing, or when they're going to be playing a musical instrument, or when they are writing a song and singing along with the therapist. There are multiple areas of the brain which are getting changed, and also they are getting connected. And apart from this, it's also the cognition and the emotion which is also influenced, and also the impact that it makes on the reward centers in the brain, the impact that it makes on the neuronal connections and the neural pathways, the communication that is happening with relation to motivation, or with relation to the positive neurotransmitters that are being secreted like dopamine or oxytocin. So it is important to consider the biological. Lot of neuro science and neuro imaging studies with relation to music has indicated that uh, the brain functioning improves, different parts of the brain are stimulated, and it is more because of the mediation of the positive emotions and the positive cognition, which also plays a role in the functioning of the mind, which is contributing to the better functioning of the body, because biologically, through the hormones, with positive hormones, and also through the positive immune functioning, it is possible that they get into positive health behavior outcomes could be recorded. So reducing the adverse effects could be because of negative feelings or negative emotions or negative thoughts, which could contribute to the negative health. And if you have to look at positive health and improving quality of life, not only in the physical well-being but also in the psychological well-being of reducing anxiety or improving the mood or reducing the depressive symptoms and improving the sleep quality. Music therapy contributes a lot in stress reduction, and paves an important way to manage the patients, not only biologically but also psychologically. And if you look at some of the biological mechanisms, it affects the autonomic nervous system in terms of a faster recovery because of a stressful experience, because of modulating the anxiety levels, because of the effect that it has on the heart rate and the blood pressure, the systolic and the diastolic blood pressure, and it reduces the stress hormone cortisol levels because it's an indicator of HPA activity. And it also reduces the salivary alpha amylase, and it impacts the cardiac rhythms, as I was telling you about the blood pressure and the heart rate. And more also, these are mediated by the cognitive and emotional processes, thereby the physiological processes. So we came out with a combined study of yoga and music before angiogram, and how when patients who are posted for angiogram, when they were given around some 10 to 15 minutes of yoga and 10 to 15 minutes of music therapy by listening interventions, we were recording the physiological measures, we were recording also the anxiety levels, and we found out that it was possible to bring down the anxiety, and we were able to make the patients on the operating bed without anxiety. So that was one of our findings in the cardiac catheterization. Another study that it is which was done with the angioplasty was what Dr. Amita Ganesh was talking about, and our research question was whether it can impact the pain, anxiety, heart rate, and serum cortisol levels in patients undergoing angioplasty procedure. And so it was divided into two groups, and the intervention was in the form of classical music and imagery, and 15 minutes administered through headphones. And so we took the necessary precautions of understanding the impact of having the proper exclusion criteria. And so patients having psychosis and cognitive impairment and undergoing any kind of a psychiatric treatment or medication were not included for the study. And we did a screening for mental health of all the eligible participants through the Department of Psychiatry. And so a proper screening was done, and intervention was driven. So there were two arms. One is the experimental group, and the other one was control. And we were giving the experimental group, which was receiving the music therapy intervention, before the procedure and after the procedure. Before the procedure and during the procedure. So it was intervening, making the patient comfortable in the pre-operative room, preparing them to come out of anxiety and preparing them to be on the operating table without anxiety. And also, during the angioplasty procedure, they were given music therapy in the form of their preferred chants, because preferred music always have a very important implication in understanding about the therapeutic effects of music. And so their preferred chants was taken to be a way by which they were intervened. And it's important, though we talk about music therapy, it's important about what are the musical selections. If it's going to be a relaxation music, it has to have a slow tempo and it has to have a soft timbre. And it's important to consider also the cultural profile of the patient, because what is important in being therapeutic is about their receptivity to music, about their positive emotions and positive experiences and positive thoughts that they may get into after listening to the particular music. So musical selections are very important. And if you have to look at, there are different kinds of music therapy. Does not use a specific genre of music, it uses different genres. And classical music is something, there are different theories which guide the music therapist for use of the ragas in the therapy interventions. And so that is one component that had to be taken into consideration. And just to get into a very basic level of understanding about how this research was helpful for us to understand that music therapy can help to reduce anxiety, pain, heart rate, and respiratory rate. There was significant difference in all the p-values of 0.01 with relation to state anxiety, pain, heart rate, and respiratory rate. And if you could look at this very complicated table, but just to translate it, it's that the anxiety and the HR, the heart rate, which is an important determinant, which is an important cardiac rhythm to be understood in terms of cardiac health for the clinicians. It was possible that we could make a change. The heart rate was brought down significantly, and there was difference significantly between the pre-procedure and the post-procedural anxiety levels. And the respiratory rate also. One of the very important therapeutic implications of music therapy is that the deep breathing responses. It is possible that we can make the patients respire very deeply, and so we could regulate the breathing patterns. And so this is one of the areas in which we could make a change. And we were also getting into the biochemical marker of looking at the cortisol levels. And so there was there was not significant difference in cortisol levels. That is because we were taking only it was just intervening only for about half an hour. The music therapy sessions, we have to look at long time efforts of, because cortisol is one parameter. If we have to do a baseline and after the intervention, probably a long-term study would have been beneficial in trying to record the beneficial effort. So but what we could find out was the cooperation levels of the patients improved, and that was about what Dr. Amrita Ganesh was telling about it. And during procedure also, the difference between the last HR and the first heart rate readings, there was a significant differences. So I think, I had a lot of, talk. And so now we will look into a video. So this is about, how we were working with a patient who was scheduled for an angioplasty. She was a very young girl. And she was scheduled for an angioplasty, and she was around 28 years old, and she was extremely anxious. And so Dr. Amrita Ganesh, generally music therapy is offered on referrals, And sometimes, you know, the doctor feels that this is a patient who has to be intervened, not only biologically but also psychologically. And so she was referred in order to reduce her symptoms of anxiety, and the idea was to take her to the operation theater also, you know, in a less anxious state. So we were using music and imagery technique in music therapy. So imagery is one thing in which, you know, we were personalizing the intervention for her. It was not only that we were using the specific music according to the time that we intervened, but also, you know, we were looking at what is a imagery script that, so it was, we were taking her to a journey of hell. And so she was given part 1, there was music therapy intervention before the procedure, and also, you know, she was taken to the operation theater. And so please have a view of this video. I'm going to play this. It's a very short video, but
இது ஒரு காலை நேரம், ஒரு பிரகாசமான நிலை. உங்களை சுற்றி உங்க மேல அக்கறை வச்சவங்க இங்க இருக்காங்க. ஒரு பாதுகாப்பான, அமைதியான, இறைத்தன்மை நிறைந்த சூழ்நிலையில நீங்க இருக்கீங்க. இப்போ ஒரு நல்ல பயணத்துக்கு போறதா நினைச்சுக்கோங்க. இந்த பயணத்துல உங்க ஆரோக்கியம் சீரா இருக்க போறத நீங்க உணருங்க. உங்களுக்காக, உங்களோட ஆரோக்கியத்துக்கு முக்கியத்துவம் கொடுக்கிறவங்க உங்களோட இப்ப இங்க இருக்கும்.
ஜெயகாந்தி, எப்படி இருந்தது? நல்லா இருந்ததா? இந்த பாட்டுலாம் பாடினாங்க, எப்படி இருந்தது உங்களுக்கு? மனசுக்கு இதமா இருந்ததா? வழியே தெரியல, நல்லா இருந்துச்சா? ரொம்ப பிடிச்சிருந்துச்சா?
so the patient was able to, because she had a pre-procedural music therapy session, she was prepared for, you know, the surgery. When she was in the operation theater, she was in the catheterization lab, you know, her anxiety levels were reduced and she was feeling comfortable because she knew that the music therapist was also going to be there and she's going to be supportive. So music therapists support, you know, the patients in terms of dealing with their emotions and feelings, and they use music as a medium of communication. So here, the communication was music, and it's understanding about their emotions, it's understanding about their feelings, it's being with them and to give them a support, not only biologically, but also the biological support was in terms of choosing the right music in order to have a beneficial effect on the autonomic responses, to be specific about reduction of blood pressure, reduction of heart rate, which was supposed to be controlling certain parameters of music, and which was also preferred, which was within her cultural profile. Psychologically, it was also understanding about her emotions, giving her support. If you had looked at the imagery script, we were taking her psychologically through a journey of health, in which we were telling her that she's surrounded by people who are supporting her, and we are there to support her. And the music interventions was something that she was able to focus on mindfully, which was distracting her from the stressful environment of the operation theater. So that was also the research about, and also you were able to see some of the positive indications and the parameters, the clinical outcomes. And if you have to, so all these were about the restorative healthcare strategies when patients come on an emergency, when patients come for treatment, and how pathogenesis is supported, when principles of pathogenesis is supported with the salutogenic principles of looking at their health in terms of, holistically, their body, mind, and, the soul. As Dr. Shanta was very rightly, said, and she set the stage for, the presentation. But if you have to look at the music practices where it is not therapy, but we are giving it as a resource to them, a cultural resource to them, telling them about the meditative practices, telling them about Indian philosophical practices of understanding music itself as a way to meditate. An expression to understand about the self-realization and getting an awareness about the different senses of our body. So we tell them about how music could be used in their everyday life in order to have positive emotions. Consciously make effort to integrate music in their lives so that they get positive emotions out of it. It's not necessary that they should always be listening to relaxing music. A music which could also bring in positive emotions to them is something that they could resort to. If they have, if they feel negative, and probably positive emotions may make their mood better. Or if it is able to bring in, that experience is able to bring in some positive thoughts about, or an association or a memory about something that happened in their life, is something that the cognition, the positive thoughts and the positive emotions work together in understanding about how the brain is processing the music with positive emotions and positive thoughts, is going to act on a positive way with positive secretion of positive hormones probably, and also the immune system becomes better. And these are the ways by which we can create an awareness and a sensitization program, helping them to understand music, how music therapy helps. And also salutogenic focus can be with hospital staff, doctors and nurses. So in hospitals, it's not only the patients, who are stressful. We know that, the clinician community also is under stress. And so it would be a broader way of understanding the benefits of music, and how not only music as therapy, but also music could be given as the resource in a preventive care healthcare strategy, because music has a power to reduce stress because of its autonomic function, the responses of music, autonomic responses, the cortisol, the endocrine responses, the immune functions, so the positive emotions, increasing resilience, so and heal, make the self-healing mechanism, because one of the important aspects of healing to happen in the body is the self-healing mechanism has to be triggered. So music is a way by which, we can trigger the self-healing mechanism in the body. When it's just not cure, which is important, it's cure and heal, which is important. And healing is something to do with the body, mind, and the soul. When there is a balance between the mind, body, and the soul, the healing happens. The self-healing mechanism gets triggered. And preventive cardiac healthcare measures, which we try to, with the help of Dr. Amita Ganesh, in preventive cardiology was something that, we could help patients who are coming for master health checkup, and they could be referred if there is a slight rise in blood pressure, if they may not be even in a prehypertensive state, but maybe in a prehypertensive state, to understand about how consciously, they can integrate music in their day-to-day life. Because there's been a lot of research on positive emotions and positive thoughts having a direct relation with health of a person. So thank you so much for the patient hearing. And I hope, there was some kind of an information to know that how music could be integrated in a hospital, and how it could also be taken to the general public and, to the community also around us.
Thank you, madam. Yeah, really in between heal and cure, you have given very good connection. So I think it's really great. And during this period, this COVID pandemic, I think all doctors need an extra music therapy also for this occasion also, away from the heart. Everything, heart and mind, everything comes together. Thank you, madam. Very nice it was. Thank you. Dr. Narmada, are you
Yes,
there?
ma'am. We have one question is whether Indian music or Western music is useful for cardiac patients.
Any music.
So basically, it all depends on what the patient's requirements are. If he's going to be somebody who is, trained in Western music and he finds the Western music to be relaxing, then Western music is used. But Indian music, it all depends on the cultural profile of, the patient. So when we are working with Indian patients, when we are working with patients, or when we are working with healthy, individuals, it's about what is the music that they are exposed to, what is familiar to them, what is the quality of music that we are, what is our goal. If it's going to be relaxing music, therapist is going to select the music. If it's going to be something giving positive emotions, it's the patient who's going to be selecting the music.
Okay.
Because it is that kind of, it's a specific kind of a music which is going to evoke a positive emotion. There cannot be one specific music which can evoke positive emotion across everybody at all situations.
Okay. Ma'am, they have asked, should we be actively listening while we are doing some work, or is it okay that it is in the background?
So there are, these are two different things. And so when it has to be actively, when we are going to look at therapy, then it has to be actively listening to music. If it's going to be a music as a resource so that, you are not distracted from just the work on task, then it could be background music. Background music should always be only familiar music, and, it is what the particular person selects it. But therapy involves actively listening to music, mindfully listening to music.
Dr.
Okay,
Narmada, can I comment?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please do, sir.
Yeah, nothing. See, as Madam said, music therapy is not only about listening to music. I have seen Madam actively asking the patient to do a percussion, do a string in guitar, asking the patient to write one song. See, all these components of music therapy. My understanding from 4-5 years back about music therapy is that just ask the patient to listen to some music. That's only music medicine. So listening to music is one component of music therapy. That's what I understood from what Madam has given for the past 4 years. Is it right, Madam?
Yeah. So we use different kinds of musical experiences, which may be writing a song with them or making them play musical instruments, which doesn't require any expertise, because all of us in our lives, we all can appreciate music, and we can make music, we can jam, and then we can appreciate music, and we can ascribe meaning to music. And everybody is developmentally prepared in a different way in our lifespan. So it's different methods which are used by music therapists, and one method is listening method. Because in an operation theater, we can't ask the patient to, write a song and then involve them actively. So here the example was angioplasty and, in a catheterization room, but that is just one method. So the experiences are different. The musical experiences are different. The methods are different. It all depends on what is the goal and what is the objective that we are trying to work on.
Okay. Nandini, you have some questions like how long to continue paleo diet for less than 40 years?
Less than 40 years, it can be continued for up to 3 to 6 months. or until the desired weight loss is obtained. But you should keep a watch on your blood investigations, your lipid profile, your urea creatinine, and uric acid levels, sodium and potassium levels, to monitor whether you're properly hydrated, whether your renal functions are okay. If you're going to continue beyond 3 or 6 months, you need a regular monthly evaluation.
And
it is ideal if you stop it by 3 to 6 months and continue with a healthy diet after that.
Drinking water during exercise, is it good or bad?
You can have a pre-workout drink, that is either a glass of milk or an energy drink, whichever you prefer, especially if you're a diabetic. And you can have sips of water in between your workout, either it is walking or a gym workout with weights or weighing machines. Like, you can have sips of water in between. And ideally, you should have had your last meal 2 to 3 hours before your workout. If it is going to be a walk, moderate intensity walk, it is okay if you can start after 2 hours. But if it is going to be a heavy workout, it is ideal you take it after 3 hours of your last meal.
Is it necessary that we do exercise only in empty stomach?
No, not necessary empty stomach. You can have a pre-workout drink. That's what we advise. Don't do it in an empty stomach.
Or they want to ask for about food, breakfast or like that.
You can have a workout 2 to 3 hours after your last meal.
Last meal, okay.
You can do it any time of the day, whenever you have time, either in the evenings or even late nights, whichever is preferable for you. If you're not comfortable with the morning workout or your time doesn't permit, you can do it in the evenings or even late nights before your dinner.
Okay. Dr. Sumati, you have one more question, ma'am.
Yes, I saw the question. Yeah, it's about how about music therapy intrauterine, any specific benefit? So if it is going to be on healthy pregnant women, it could be an auditory stimulation program, because right from the second trimester, the auditory processing starts developing in the fetus. And that's a way, researchers have indicated that auditory stimulation between 29 to 34 weeks, make the neuronal connection stronger, and the auditory processing or the pathways are strengthened between the ear and the brain. And so, yes, there are lots of studies which have indicated auditory stimulation to the fetus, and the responses are positive, because the fetal memory, the fetus is able to retain the memory for about 6 weeks about the musical experiences that it gets it during the pregnancy when the mother exposes a fetus to music. So music in the in fetal memory is one way by which when the baby is born, then we may have some positive responses in reducing the crying spells, or there may be positive responses because they respond positively, or they give an orienting response to the familiar music that they have listened to. It could be the music, the familiar music, the family music, or it could be a specific music that the mother has heard. And with specific relation to restorative healthcare strategy, there was a research even by us, our group in MGM CRI, that pre-hypertension during the third trimester of pregnancy with music therapy, that we were able to bring a significant reduction in the blood pressure levels, and when the pregnant women become pre-hypertensive. So that was one of the studies. So it could be a preventive healthcare measure. It could be that the mother, the healthy mothers also could be devoid of their anxiety during pregnancy. And there are a lot of researches which have happened about how music can help suckling behavior of the newborns, so that breastfeeding behavior, or breastfeeding can be improved, and the lactation process also could be improved, because there are a lot of researches which have indicated with music, when they listen to music or when they listen to the mother singing song, the newborn suckles. So the suckling behavior becomes better, and breastfeeding also becomes better. So there are lots of this thing with the neonates during pregnancy and during labor also. We have made some studies trying to understand about the behavioral aspects, the pain behavioral aspects of, the women during labor. And so that was positive. And so how they could cope effectively. The pain is going to increase during labor, but how they could effectively cope with the labor, and how they could also, reduce the pain related behaviors. So that was also one of the studies. So there are lots of applications, evidence-based applications, which are intrauterine, about increasing the fetal movements when the fetal movements have been found to be, not there. And so, when they come for checkup, when music is given as a stimulation, the fetal movements get restored.
Yeah.
It's restored. So there are different benefits also in this area of intrauterine and during labor, and also, with the neonates.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Nandini, last question. With this, we'll wind up the session. How much of milk is recommended for the senior citizens?
It depends on whether it is low-fat milk or whole-fat milk. Ideally, you can have up to 3 to 4 glasses of milk per day. This 3 to 4 glasses doesn't have much fat, doesn't increase the fat content, daily fat content, and it can be taken safely for the amount of calcium that is required, and as well as balancing the fat amount. If it should not be a concentrated high fat milk, I'm talking about the regular normal milk. This 3 to 4 glasses means around 600 to 800 ml is ideal per day.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Nandini. Dr. Moderator, Dr. Logana, Yashoda ma'am and Shantanaran ma'am, can we close the session? Yeah, I think.
Yes, yeah, we will close the session. Yeah. So,
Madam, can you tell me few words about our president is here?
Yes, sir.
Raja, he has gone. First of all, I would like to congratulate and thank the organizers for nicely arranging these sessions. Well attended, well conducted. There were about 147 participants. Even now we can see about 109 participants. It was well attended, well conducted. And I was there by 2:15 p.m. Now it has exceeded more than 3 hours. You can add this demo of yoga and exercise, and also this video along with your CME.
yes, sir.
Making it as more than 3 hours, you can earn more CME hours. And moreover, I am yet to find one CME in any branch with medical ethics and national health policy. It should be there along with some other topic. Please see that you arrange one CME program covering national health policy and medical ethics. And once again, I thank I congratulate the organizers for the nice arrangements and the eminent speakers, and especially Dr. Sumati Sundar, Dr. Nandini, Dr. Amada Ganesh, and I thank Dr. Yasoda, Dr. Yasoda, Dr. Santa Narayanan,
Thank you.
Narmada, and Dr. Malliya for their.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Concentrating on the disease, we wanted to concentrate on the preventive aspects. So that was the entire aim of this CME. So that is why we had it on diet and exercise and music, so that we prevent the cardiac disease before even it comes. That was the entire theme, sir.
Even if it is less than 2.5 hours, you should make it as 3 hours, because less than 3 hours they give only half an hour.
Okay.
More than 3 hours they give 1 hour. Less than 6 hours they give 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yes, and you can add these simple things, demo and videos along with your CME, so
Sure.
that you can earn more hours. That's my suggestion.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Thank you, sir. We'll ask your opinion. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dr. Chitra ma'am. Okay, she's not here. So I thank you so much for all of you for having that. Chitra ma'am is there, not there, I think.
Dr. Mallika?
Issues, I think, madam.
Narmata, participants are waiting to know the results of the challenges, Narmata.
I had shared the video. I will be sharing in the groups also. Dr. Shantanarayan madam had won in the plank. She had around 4 minutes 45 seconds, and in the skipping, your branch madam has won. She has done about 257 skipping challenges in 1 minute 30 seconds, and in high knees challenges again it was Shantanarayan madam doing about 251 times. And there were only 3 participants, so all of them got the prizes. Rebecca ma'am, we will send a certificate to them, and I also prepared a video which I shared in the initial part of the presentation. I will share it again in the group, Dr. Kavita.
Thank you, Narmata.
Thank you so much. Namata branch had sent 4 entries, and I also got entries from my Vellore also. Rebecca ma'am had sent it, so we could not. Thank you so much for all your enthusiastic participation, and I will share the video also again in the group.
Thank you, Narmada, for the wonderful opportunity.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. I really thank the speakers.
Thank you, Narmada. Thank you, Narmada, for the opportunity given to me. And the session is very different and unique. It's wonderful enjoying. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. I thank the moderators. I thank all the delegates. I thank the IMA state office bearers, Dr. Ramakrishnan sir, Dr. Raja sir, and Dr. Ravi Kumar sir, as well as NRT sir, who was with me throughout this planning, and even for the Tamil Nadu Medical Council. I had excellent support from Tamil Nadu state office people also. They were along with me for organizing this at every step. I individually thank the DigiShield people who helped us with the technical support given for this program to accommodate a lot of delegates for this. I thank individually Dr. Sri Priya, Dr. Kavita ma'am, who helped me with the organization. Thank you so much. I hope we have, as sir said, we'll have another interesting session on ethics and human behavior. So we wanted to bring in more different topics for us instead of the routine thing which we will anyway read in our textbooks. So hope to see you soon in another CME. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ramakrishnan.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr.
Yeah.
Thank you, madam. Thank you all.